Hey there, it's Laura. I'm on my back patio today and I want to show you guys a really fun project to do now that the months are colder and we're looking for those garden projects to tackle. This one I think is something that anyone can do. It's so super simple. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to plant some hyacinth bulbs in a container and I'm going to incorporate a living treetop. So I got this evergreen at the local market. And it's just one of those ones that you can like bring in the house and put on an end table and kind of decorate if you wanted to have a smaller tree. But in this situation, I'm going to use it as the centerpiece in this pot. I do want to mention, I learned so much this season from flowerbulbs.com. I have to give them a big shout out. The timing, they bloom at different intervals. Some are early blooming, some are later blooming, some are taller, some are shorter. You know, you can experiment with so many different things inside and out. You guys will notice I did the amaryllis and the paperwhites, and they have great articles and just great informative site, so you can kind of figure out what you can put in your landscape to give you some interest in the spring, and also to make your home more cozy and warm during these cold months too, with some indoor bulbs. So I'm starting here with one of my favorite pots. I picked these up a couple years ago. I get a lot of questions on these. I picked these up from Home Depot. These are real terracotta. It's made with natural fibers mixed in with the terracotta that gives it a stronger base to resist, not prevent, because nothing is, you know, nothing is guaranteed, but it resists cracking and it resists freeze damage and things like that. And I can attest to it because I've kept these out maybe 2 or 3 seasons now, and I've had none of them break. I've lost none of these. Some other supplies you'll need some good potting mix. I always start out my containers with the Espoma Organic. You know I love that. You'll see that when I went to Groff's the other day for the nursery tour, I was so excited to see that they just stocked the whole line of the Espoma. Right now I order on Amazon, which is also very convenient, and I love to do that when I can't find it. But now that I know it's so close by, I'll be running there to get my Espoma. And bulb tone. So this is a fertilizer that's going to get these bulbs nice and established, get them ready for all those pretty blooms they're going to put out in the spring. Today, I feel like, you know what I feel like? I feel like hyacinths don't get enough love. I love hyacinths. They smell wonderful. They're so pretty. So today is going to be not about tulips, not about daffodils, but I'm just doing one whole pot full of pink hyacinths, and this particular variety is the hyacinth pink pearl I'll be planting. So I'll be filling this pot with the hyacinth pink pearl, and then basically just putting the tree as a centerpiece in top and packing the soil around. I did plan to maybe put some like moss and things around the edge, but I think that the branches of this evergreen are just gonna totally swallow up the top of the pot, which is fine. And then I'm gonna put some little lights and wrap around, and I'll show you guys a photo of what it looks like after the lights. So I'm just gonna get right into this. As a general rule of thumb, when you plant your bulbs, you wanna make sure that you plant them 2 to 3 times the height of your bulb. These are not super large, about 1.5 inches to 2 inches, as you can see. So they're not gigantic. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna lay these down, and you wanna lay them down root side down. So there's a point, and then there's the flat root side where the roots will grow down. You just wanna make sure that the points are pointing on top. So in this situation, I don't have like holes dug. I just have a nice flat surface here where I'm going to lay my bulbs, and then I'm going to cover them up with the soil once I have the bulbs in. So I have all the soil in here, and now I'm just going to arrange the bulbs and just make sure, you know, there are spacing guidelines, but in this situation I just want a nice thick full mass. And you guys know in gardening you can break the rules sometimes. You don't want to break the rules as far as, you know, fertilizing and plant care, but you can bend the rules as far as the spacing in which you plant your bulbs and your tulips. Make a circle of the hyacinths here, and then fill some in on the center. So I'll tilt this down to show you. I know I'm a little far away, but I kind of thought that the whole scene looked so pretty with the window boxes. You could do this with the kids. My kids are at school. My husband always makes me laugh because he says, you know, I love it when you say you could do it with the kids, and yet you're out there on your own. Where are the boys at? So just about like that, without tilting my bulbs out too much. I hope you can kind of see. Just kind of arrange them there like that. So you'll have a nice thick pot of hyacinths come the spring. I am going to put a scoop of the bulb tone in here and sprinkle it around. Boop. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to cover this up with the soil. And I will see these guys in the spring. I will water this in. Just going to take it out of its stand here. You know, maybe getting this out is easier said than done. Okay. Well, they don't mess around with, thank you. Now, I'm gonna put a fresh cut on this because I don't know when they put a cut on here. It could have been sitting that way for quite a while. Hopefully my pruners will do it. If not, I'm gonna go get my loppers. There we go. And I'm also gonna trim off these bottom branches. And I'm just gonna go ahead, find the middle. And really get it down in there. Really, it is as simple as that. I am going to top dress this with some moss. Now that I see this area is exposed a bit. So for that, I ordered this on Amazon. This is preserved super moss. This is the mood moss. And it comes in nice clumps. Now this is preserved, so it doesn't need to be watered. It's not living moss, but you do want to keep it kind of moist. You can pre-moisten this if you like. You don't have to. But I'm going to go along and water this when I'm done. But even just top dressing something like this with the moss, and it just gives it such a nice pop of color so that you don't have to look at the soil there. Love this stuff. I used a whole bunch of it in a pot of camellia I have. I'll show you guys that too. And then when we get a freeze, the freezing temperatures will freeze this evergreen in here so it won't get all tippy. Okay. And I'm just gonna grab some pine cones here, just as a little accent. And I don't know if I mentioned, I am gonna add some little lights to the evergreen. But I ordered some that I wanted to try, and they haven't come yet. They're supposed to come today, and I didn't want to put the video off, so here I am. I really like the natural look of this though. Really nice. And this doesn't need anything. It just looks so pretty just the way it is. But I will say, I picked up some of these glittery Pics at Joann's, and I just love them. They have these little glittery pine cones on them that I've been using everywhere, and they just add this pretty sparkle. I'm gonna add a couple. Just had my scissors. Where are my scissors? I opened this. All right. I just love these particular pine cones. Where could my scissors be? Now, I'll finish dressing this outside of the video, but I am gonna bring you over to kind of show you what it's looking like. So here is how I'm dressing the top of the pot. Got the moss going all the way around. I've got some large pine cones, and then I'm putting these tiny glittery pine cones in. And that's really it. Just a nice sweet display. And again, I'll add the lights in when they come later today, hopefully. And I will take some photos of it lit up at night. I'm gonna have this here on our patio, and I'm gonna just quickly show you the camellia. So this is in a crescent garden container, and it's just topped with moss and little moss balls that I got on Amazon. I just kind of scattered them around, and some little pine cones that I just used. And this is the Christmas Carol Camellia from Southern Living Plant Collection. And you can see, I'll get it on a little bud here. Where's that? There it is. Trying to get in focus there, but there's a couple more buds on here too. New growth coming out here. So I am really excited to see this one bloom. I cannot wait. This could not be easier. This is a great way to incorporate some spring bulbs into a container with some winter interest. Only a couple supplies needed. I just topped this with some super moss, preserved moss that I got on Amazon, and I'll link below to that. These are just some pine cones that I picked up at the market and some other little glittery pine cones. When you plant your bulbs, you want to plant them 2 to 3 times deeper than your bulb. And then, you know, just a little bit of fertilizer, and then come spring, you know, you'll have a beautiful pot full of bulbs to enjoy. When this is done, when the season's over, I'll just pop this out, and where there's some space, maybe I'll go along and I'll patch it in with some more moss just to kind of top dress the pot. And then when spring comes, we're all set. Couldn't be easier. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. And I know I don't really say it very often, and I don't know if I've said it at all actually, but it would mean so much to me if you guys would hit that subscribe button. I love to do these videos for you guys. I hope you enjoy them and find them informative and fun, and that they spark some creativity in you guys as well. I think I just saw a snowflake. Oh my goodness. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and clean all this up, and I hope to see you guys in the next video. Have a great day.